Welcome to HTM on the Line, the podcast that is for HTM by HTM. I'm your host, Bryant Hawkins Sr. What does it take to lead a successful business in the HTM industry and build a nurturing work environment from scratch? Our guest today, none other than Gary Nop, the visionary CEO of Tritouch Service Inc., holds the answers. Get ready to embark on a journey that spans continents, industries, and decades of experience. Gary Nop's story is not just about building a business. It's about building lives, careers, and futures. From his transformative journey to his invaluable leadership insights, this episode is a true treasure chest of wisdom, practical advice, and life lessons you simply can't afford to miss. So without further ado, let's dive into the extraordinary world of Gary Nop, a journey that's bound to leave an undeniable mark on your perspective. So welcome, Gary. How you doing, man?
I am great. Excellent.
Great. I'm glad.
And again, Brian, thank you for inviting me to the podcast with you today, and really appreciate it. I follow you, and I saw you done amazing thing on podcast and in the HTM community. So, love it. Thank you.
I appreciate that, man. But I'm glad to have you on here. I follow you likewise, and I love the energy you put out there and the passion. It's very contagious. So before we get started, tell everyone about yourself. What's the background about Mr. Gary Nop?
Okay, all right. So let's go. Let's start from beginning. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Beginning of my life. Everyone probably know already that because I post writes about my life story on LinkedIn. But let's just shortcut that and move forward to it. So I came to America from Cambodia. Survived killing field and made it to America back in 1981. So beginning my life, and again, I don't speak English and I don't know anything. I motivate myself to go to school and finish school, graduated, and work for a big company for a bit, and then get off tracks and start my own business. So this is what we call American dream, right? So I did that. I came, study hard, work, and then get off that, and then want to get independent. So since then, I never look back. It's a blessing to live here in America and have that opportunity that I could not have that opportunity back in Cambodia till today. So this is amazing. This is a blessing. That's how my life began. And never stop and moving forward again. I have done so much in my career life by giving back to community, meaning that I take a lot of people and bring them in and start to training them and to become a better career set. I do a lot of that in electronics way before I start the environment. Oh. So that training never stopped.
What is your day-to-day like? What do you do on a daily basis?
Well, my day-to-day life is as a CEO of a company. I involved in so many things. So sale every day. I go out and meet a hospital, meet a client, talk to them about what their need is, what that I can bring into supporting their services, from biomedical engineer to maintenance to So I do both. So that's what I do, and also I how a CEO, right? Most company CEO, they just sit and they delegate the job to their people. Well, I'm not one of those. I like to be my hands on everything because that shows a true leadership that if I'm involved, I'm active, I work side by side, that benefit them, and also I can learn from them, and I'll learn I learn from them, and they'll learn by from me. So that's the environment I'm in, day to day, from sale to technicals. Support technical, to be on the bench, to be bookkeeping and invoicing, you name it. That anything that a small business owner do, that's what I do.
And what is the name of your company, and how long your business have been in the industry?
Okay, so my company name is Tritouch Service. And I have been in this environment company that I created back in 1999. So we've been established 23 years. Before that, prior to 1999, I was having electronic repair service right here in Bakersfield, California. So I support a lot of manufactured consumer electronics. So from GE, Panasonic, Hitachi, Mitsubishi, Sony. So those are things that the manufacturer that I work with them during my time before I jump onto the environment.
Now, are you a part of any associations out there in California?
Yes, I belong to CMIA. And in the past, I used to belong to Electronic Association of California. But that thing is long, old time, and I've not been around with that. But yes, I am with the CMIA. Yeah.
We talked about this previously, but you was explaining to me about this program you're trying to put in place. Let's talk about that for a second.
Well, thank you Brian for asking me that question. So the program, what I created is that this is I tested about it back in year 2000 on the environment program, because during that time, I have been asked by a lot of hospitals saying, hey, can you help us in the environment, repair and PM equipment? I took on it and successful, and, hospital liked my service, and you know what? It's just by myself. So I think about what if I would do this by multiply me, okay? Meaning giving knowledge and pass on the experience and train and teach people to become like me. Would that be benefit? So what I did, I did that by then. I take people on that they can't find no more, they can't find a job, they graduate from college and they're in financial debt, looking way out to try and find work. So I bring those people in. So here's the key point of this thing in this internship that I did for about over 20 years now. So I bring them in, train them to become a environment, pay them very well paid, also give them an insurance and benefit, and they be able to work with me side by side, gain all this knowledge from me that I have, and I'm teaching them. So after that, a lot of time, so often that the hospital saw them, the talent they had, the accelerator of their training. They've been asking me, hey, Gary, would that be mine that you let him come to me work for us rather than work for you? You know what? That day on never stopped me at all. I just say, sure, take it. You know what I mean? He's ready to go. When the one is not ready, I'll tell them it's not ready. So I test the water for that over 20 years. And now I know that what I have been done is successful. So now I come out public to share this to LinkedIn, Tech Nation, or CMA, or everybody out there as a hospital that if you are needing help and you need a partner, this is what we are doing. So we training them from 100% hands-on. So general environment, right? Hospital are fail miserable and behind a PM or repair. It's not the modality equipment, high dollar. The problem that we have right now in all hospitals across the United States is a general environment, because we have so many different type of devices that a few environment in the shop worked on it. They don't have enough time for it, And also, it's evolved training. And I'm not saying it to criticize hospital or anything. It's just that budgeting thing, all that stuff. I get that. But you know what? We have to be a self-motivate ourselves to want to learn new things. If we can do that, then we can adapt to it. So this is why I'm coming in, help fill that gap and bringing people into my place, train them to help filling that gap. And we training from 100% hands-on and also the soft skill. That's most important that we don't learn about soft skill, because soft skill is very, very important in day-to-day operation at the hospital. If you don't understand that, you can't operate it. So this is what I'm successful for the last 20 years, plugging and training and finding out where it's not working and what's worked. Then I take what's worked and apply daily and continue to make a change. So into about 20 years, of my training that I haven't done, I look back and I would say that I probably have been help people and get career and done successful. I would say close to 100,000 people, and it's the facts of what I know of. Okay, that it's about that many people that I've been extend and help them out throughout my career life. So it's very effective. So this is something that I'm passionate about, and I want to continue to doing that. And for all that reason, Brian, it is all about. It came back to me though from the beginning of time when I get it to America, and when I been in school, I studied American history. And John Kennedy, President Kennedy, came up and say, on a speak, and they say about not what the country can do for you, but what you can do to the country. So that one really resonated in my heart by saying, why he's saying what he say, and then look back on it, I say, wow, that's what America is all about. If we all love America, if we all contribute our talent or wealth or whatever the time that whatever we can, contribute back to America. That's what make America today the great country on the planet Earth. So that right there inspired me, and that's what I began to start doing this training and give it back to community. So it's an amazing thing. I mean, his word it's still stuck in my head. It resonated, and it just can't get out. It motivated me every day to get up at 4:00 and go to work. So that's my testimony, my brother.
You mentioned technical skills you was teaching your technicians, and you brought out a great point about soft skills. Now, soft skills, we probably can go on about technical skills, but what type of soft skills you're referencing to when you said that's something that the technician needs?
Okay, so good question that you asked. So often that we overlook a soft skill, meaning that when there's a new technician come on board to work at the hospital, we first welcome them. We overlook that by meaning is that we're looking for one thing. We're looking, okay, you have enough experience, you can tack on the challenge, the equipment that broke down or the PM. But the soft skill, what I mean is that what if that the printing machine, it print out a work ticket, okay? And then your boss or your leader or whoever that elder in the shop will say, well, Gary, can you go grab that the paper just came out from the printer, okay? So I begin to go and walk into the printer and grab it, and then I begin to read. And it great to say that, hey, I'm from 5th floor. I request a service. One of the device on my floor is having issues. So soft skill meaning that because I got this paper here, I attempt to get on an elevator going up the 4th and 5th floor. Now, because I don't understand or know or have communication relate to the soft skill, I mark myself into a room without know anything, and I get into trouble, And here you are, the nurse will jump up you and call you all kinds of names, and you don't know what to handle. That beginning your day become worse on that, So soft skill, that's what we teach. We teach them that to understand how to collaborate, how to work, how to talk to nursing, how to talk to people, how to look at the sign by the door before they going into a room. Hospital, the rule that's called jail in, jail out is you can't just barge into a room without jail in, and jail out, you know what I mean? And you have to learn to read the sign on the door. It would say that contamination, meaning they're asking you to wear some kind of gown, a mask, a glove, or something going in, and then when you come out, you cannot walk in and take those gowns or masks or gloves out with you. You pretty much contaminate an airborne disease. You're supposed to shuck it off, take it all off, and put it inside the room, come out clean, and clean, wash your hands, and then go on your day. So that's a soft skill I'm talking about. That hospital most of the time, their lack of that training. So we so focus so much on, I need someone to just do the PM and repair. And more often that's, you got a call. Like say I work for you, Brian, right? Suddenly you send me out there, or I went out there, I got in trouble. Here you go, the charge number for 5th floor calling you. and you, Brian, answer the phone. You know, say, hey, what can I do to help you with? Well, I just got this guy right here named Gary. He had no idea what a clue. You know, he just marched into a room. When a patient was in there, take off the clothes, the privacy. He didn't understand how to knock the door and state his name, tell him what he intended to do. You know what I mean? He go in there without put a mask on, put a glove on. So this is soft skill we're talking about. And then you go right there, Brian. It made your day go so good because I did not know the protocol. So often in time, you as the manager or the shop, you don't have time to address that. You hope that we all have common sense. And you know what, Brian? That leads to another thing that I want to share with you. All day, we born with common sense and we live with our parent, our brother and sister, our neighbor, all that taught us, and we learn from that in common sense. Today, in this world today, common sense have to be taught in high school and in college and university. That's sad. We have to learn that.
Yeah, I think this generation and COVID maybe contributed to it by them not getting out. They don't play outside anyway as much as we used to. But you made some great points about soft skills because you're absolutely right. If you can't navigate a hospital, then you will be in trouble. I don't care how great of a technician you are. But you mentioned the point about leadership when you said that the leader may direct the technician. What are some, in your opinion, soft skills that a leader should have?
Well, again, it starts from the leader, right? So oftentimes leader today, we so bombarded in our day-to-day. And I know like you, Brian, like myself as a leader, okay? When we slept tonight, we woke up, we go to our office, right? Suddenly we turn on our computer. My God, we got tons of messages, right? Coming in, hitting us, especially like you're managing the hospital. I mean, you got a lot of new need services from you, new need to have meeting, new need of a new project, right? So oftentimes you bombard with that, your day-to-day text, and then you forget about who you're leading. You see what I'm saying? You have a team that's in your shop that you lead them. So oftentimes that we forgot to take 5-10 minutes before we start our day, okay? And say hello, hi to each of our order and do a checklist on that. Hey, did you guys aware of this? Your wife aware of that? What can we do to improve that better? So that's the thing that I'm talking about. And then teaching them that soft skill. Because the new guy came on board, we hope that they know. But you know what? They don't know. So you know what, Brian? That leads into one of the stories I want to share with you in my past life in Cambodia.
Okay.
I used to be in the army, okay? In the army, in Cambodia, you have to have a lot of common sense. If you don't have a common sense, the bullet is going to fly and hit you and game over, okay? Because we don't fight and train and have all this logistics like here in America, okay? You got to born with that common sense to survive. Oftentimes, I have a new replacement come into my unit. Okay, I was second lieutenant back then. At the age 14. Okay, at age 14. So I got an older guy. He just got sent in a replacement. A guy had no idea, no clue. So you see what I'm saying? So we have to teach him, orientation him, and tell him how to not fear a bullet when you hear a gun go off. How to just be calm, composed, so you can survive, okay? Well, oftentimes, if you watch American movie film, they always joking. I sometimes I watch the Vietnam War American movies, right? The Hollywood make the movie. You see this old guy that go to the front line, fight every day, and then they send a new replacement. The new replacement, they have no clue. They walk like it's army, they don't know. And those guys make joke at them, say, here we go again, we thought coming in, right? In our unit. We don't know how long this sun who or whatever, right? It's gonna last, And I looked down like a deer, had a flashlight hit on like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? I want to die, you know what I mean? So that oftentimes that we neglect, we're not doing that. And that's what I see this thing reflect to my past in wartime. And I'm here. I continue to take that basic that I learned from it and adapt daily. So I'm teaching my guy, I mentor them this soft skill. And you know what? On time, it worked. So when the hospital called me, I would say, hey, Gary, can you send your technician to help me a week, a month, and PM a repair? And this is what I do. I before I send my guy to go to help that hospital, I send them back to my training center, okay, in Long Beach. What we do, we put them in that for 1 week. So we refreshing them from soft skill, communication, that point on all the way to refreshing what are they going to do in that hospital. You see what I'm saying? So when they leave the training center, the next week going deployed to the hospital, they land there, they're ready. So that's why a lot of times hospital, it love my service because it's what we gave them that when my guy go there, you don't have to have an extra body following you. You know, Brian, every time you have a replacement coming or someone to help you, you know, your guy, and so is you, put more fear by, oh, do I trust this guy here? Can he perform the job? Can he go and do things without getting me in trouble? So that is it, reminding us every day about that soft skill. And that's not many people teaching that. Even college and university, they don't teach. That's what I told you. Common sense have to be taught today. It's so shame and sad to see that.
Another situation, when you mentioned about teaching your young guys how to navigate, how to get into a hospital and be able to hold their own, what do you think about your team as a whole? Because sometimes you may have two young people working in the shop who both have egos. Which one would compromise, or how would you go about making them two get along? If you had some situation in the shop where neither one of them wants to compromise, I guess neither one of them is showing any common sense here, what would you do as a leader in this aspect?
Well, here as a leader, okay? So what I do as a leader, number one, here's the key point. You know, I'm going to take it right into the wartime, okay? Number one, you have to lead them by example for them to respect you and listen to you, obey you. And that's oftentimes leadership today. I call a passive leadership, okay? We dodge the confrontation. We dodge all these things here. So we leave things alone, hope the things resolve itself or fix itself or curve into it, okay? So when this kind of issue flare up, we get involved, and 99.9%, they don't listen. These two here won't listen because they already throw a flag that have no respect on us as a leader. So to me, as a leadership, what I would do, I would embrace these two here, spend time with them, mentoring them, showing my leadership so they can earn the respect from me. And I want to learn from these two here. So when I bond with them, it makes it easy for these two here not to fight. But if they're going to put a fight, it's easy for me to come in and solve their problem. You see what I'm saying? And not take side. A lot of times leadership intend to be waving off one to another. You know, just like in house, right? If you have a favorite son, a favorite daughter, you intend to lead one to another. Well, I'm not one of those. I want to listen from both ends, you know, and I will weigh in on that. But a lot of times, like I'm sharing you, it starts from us as a leader. We need to spend time and showing our talent and show our respect. When you get that, they'll respect. No doubt about it. I did it every day, okay, in my company. That's what I do. I bring people in, I sit them down, I go through with them on technical, so they see how great my technical skill is. Then they come on, obey me, disobey me, or want to derail me because I know better. So that's the respect that I get out of it. That's taught in you know, if you're in the wartime, you're in an army, a navy. I hope American army will do the same thing. I know my time in Cambodia. No, they respect me because I'm at the front line fighting with them. You know, I want to make sure they survive. They're not going to get a bullet in their head. So learn from that. I take on. That's what I continue on and teach in leadership and teach my guys in that.
Great example. You mentioned leadership as far as having respect, setting an example, showing no favoritism, bonding with them. Those are some keywords that every leader should do because, as you mentioned, that's the only way you're going to be able to reach them if they know that you actually care And that's one thing I like to always foster in my team is that if I'm giving you some correction, it's not just because I'm being hard on you, it's that I care about you and I want you to be successful in what you do. And that's what I hear resonate in your voice is that you want your team to be successful. You want the people you are instructing to be successful so that when they get on their own, then everyone can see the fruit of your labor. And I think that's a great mindset to have. And a lot of leaders need to hear this because some just feel once they become a leader, their job is done. Actually, that's when it starts, in my opinion. What's your thoughts on that? You're a young leader and you just come into that position. How should that leader be as far as performing his daily work?
And you know, I want to say this too. You know, there's two types of leadership. Okay, one leadership is what I call a 1% leadership. You're born with it. Okay, you're born to be a leadership, natural born. Okay, but 99% of those leadership that have to be taught in university or college to be a leadership. Okay, and that's what we have in this world today. And those people are I'm telling you, it's hard to deal with. And I hate to say this so also often too that most of leadership when they get into a position that hold the power, they intend to be, the movies are called Above the Law.
Yeah.
One was played by Steven Seagal.
Yes.
You know what I mean? When you become a leader, you become that kind of person. Say, I'm above the law. I can do anything. I can veto you. I don't like you. I can make your life miserable. That is the problem in our society. And then I'm not saying this is in America. I'm saying even my country right now are the same thing, And that is a bigger problem. So leadership have to be humble, submitted to our people because we service them, okay? Our job is to serve them. Our job to be our role model. Our job to be show them, okay, what we're capable of so they can follow us. That's what leaders is all about. Today, no, it's all about, hey, if I make more money than you and I sit in a position where I'm at, I'm gonna make decision either right or wrong. I'm gonna choose to do that. And that is the problem. So may I say this about on this thing here that I had my talking point here, Brian, is that not too long ago, I had met some of the leader in the hospital. I can't name, okay. So, but I met them and I had some questions regarding about the need of service, okay, because most hospitals are union shop, right? So I approaching them about, hey, if you have any need of service, would you mind give us a call and let me know so so I can send help to help you. And the way he replied to me, it's not right, He when he said that, Gary, I'm sorry that I'm sharing with you. I really don't want anybody else beside my team to do this job. You know what I mean? So I say that's great. I'm not trying to get anything. I'm just saying if you have any need. But then he continued to share with me about his vision. He said that, Gary, I would like to defend the core value of the union. Okay. So that's what I want to do. I want to preserve that. So to me, that's not a leadership. If your core value taking you to the ditch, why you keep going down? You know what I mean? If your shop is no matter how many hours you give your staff and overtime until they burn themselves out and it's still not getting anything done, that's not leadership. That's not that you want to defend the value of that. You got to look out, look outside the box. And I use more often say the leader it make a compromise. Okay, decisions about compromise. Okay, the great leader know how to compromise. And if you run a business like me, I'm running a business. Okay, I'm running a business. I'm looking at what's in for me, what I can do. Number one, to make my customer happy. And number one, to be able to make some money. And number two, and to be able to pay my staff in a better way, okay? So how do I do that? I have to learn to understand the compromise thing, to make things work so that way everybody can communicate and work together alongside each other. But to his leadership, the way he talked to me, it very disturbing me. Because the shop, I went to the shop and talked to them. They say, hey, we've been burned down, Gary. We need help, but we cannot get help because our leader would not allow. You see what I'm saying? So if you look at it, every time our leader make that kind of decision, it's a lot of cost involved. Number one, it sacrificed financial to the institution because he tried to defend the institution. That to me, it's not right institution anyway. I hope that no institution in this world, whoever they created, it looked that way. They want us to become one thing. They compromise the situation, okay? So that's how it goes. And this guy here hold on to that value so strong, and he rather not chose to look outside the box. And that is the problem in our leadership today. I don't care if you talk about politics. I don't care if you talk about a corporate run. I don't care if you talk about the hospital run. I don't care. They're all like that, and then it's so shameful to hear and to see that. And I just want all the leadership, please change that. Compromise, that's what we all need to do as a leadership.
We were dealing with these young people coming into the industry. I'll just give you an example. I was explaining to my son about the VR readers that they're making now with the equipment. So I thought I was telling my son something great and breathtaking. And he told me I already have 2 VR readers in the bedroom. So that's why we have to compromise. And now the industry is leaning toward the young people and doing what they're doing and bringing that into the industry. I think that's a great thing to show that compromising is for the better. Your thoughts?
No, yeah, definitely. I applaud that. I agree with that because I compromise daily, okay? Because you know what? Because my role now as a CEO, I'm more going towards sale, right? So now I take my hands off from practical, but knowledge-wise, I still had it, okay? So when I go into the training center in Long Beach, okay, and I watch the new young guy that I just hired, and they came in, my God, my brother Brian, they're smart, they read faster than me. Their comprehensive level of reading, it's beyond my old computer thinking, you know what I mean? So slow, you know what I mean? I'm an old 386 computer, then in the new processor now, you know what I mean? They boom, 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 boom. So you see, this is the problem with leadership. We stuck in the 286 processor, and then we don't want to submit ourselves. Okay, to say to ourselves, you know what? I'm no better than you, and I should be adapt and compromise to you. Right there, because we feel insecure ourselves. That's another word I'm gonna say. Leadership, 90%, I guarantee you, my brother, we are insecure. When you become insecure, you try to hold on something, okay? And we're gonna start using our power. Okay,
absolutely,
to dominate.
Yep.
And that's what the gap, that's what we're having a problem. That's the reason why the young generation, they have no respect on the old leadership, because we do not want to compromise, because we stuck on our old 286 process.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And this is the problem. We need to all wake up and understand it and compromise and adapt it to today. And applaud them and give them something, you know what I mean, to look for, instead of talking them down, like, oh, well, you know what, I know more than you. No, it's the world is changing. We're going to learn from each other if we're going to live and coexist from one day to the next. So that's my take on it, and I totally on that every day. I stopped saying things that I know anything. I came home, my daughter, my son, they know more than me. Every time I get a new phone, I couldn't even function without my kid get involved and setting all things up for me. You know what I mean? So I submit to that. I'm gonna say, you know what? This is not my time anymore.
Absolutely.
But I'm not gonna claim or unsecure and try to hold on something to show that I'm your dad. I'm your, I have power over you. I control you. No, I submit to my kid now. I should say, guy, it's your time, man. You guys, I applaud you for that.
Yes.
So leadership, we have to do that. Day to day, wherever we at either at our home or at our office. If we can do that, I'm telling you, the game changing in this world, changing.
Exactly.
And forget about our core value.
We're going to be finished with this industry in 10 years or less. And who's going to be there to take care of us? If we're not able to compromise and meet them, that's the whole reason for why I started this podcast, to try to reach the younger ones, because they need some motivation. I mean, they can fix the equipment. That's easy. But they need to have some type of inspiration. Somebody got to inspire them. And a lot of managers, unfortunately, don't have that talent to inspire the youth or to motivate them. And that just pretty much need for you to show them some interest, like you mentioned earlier. Show them some type of feelings, build a relationship with them. You can do that. You don't have to be smarter than someone to build a relationship with them. And I think that's where a lot of leaders are failing, and a lot of young people are leaving this industry because of that type of behavior. But let me
that totally agreeable. I see it every day.
Let me ask you this question. I did a little homework on you, and I was looking at something on your LinkedIn page, and it was a collaboration that you're doing with an internship program. Can you speak on that some?
So collaboration. Yeah. So let me share you about collaboration. You know, it's an old word say that if you go alone, right, it's go faster. But if you want to go with a team, right, you go farther. Okay. Mm-hmm. So my thought on that collaboration on this internship program is that I am looking to find out more and more people, okay, to call out hospital, to call out all leadership here, okay, to embrace the education like what I put out, okay. Oftentimes, I'm not saying it to propagate myself or to smear the institution or calling, any of that stuff. I'm just speaking the facts here. The fact is this, I'm going to say this in a calm way now. Before I'm excited, and I'm going to be calm so everyone can understand me clearly. I mean, I have a kid just like you and everybody else that in America or around the world, okay? We hope that the giving our kid an education, that's the key of gift of life, right? So we look and call it gift of life, by giving an education. So we work so hard and sending our kid to college, university, right? And let's put this way here, especially here in America, our kids graduate high school at 18. Oftentimes our kids don't even understand financing is all about, right? Now we begin to send them to college for 4 years. Now they're getting their bachelor's degree. Oftentimes, if we're rich, it's okay, they pay. What if we're not rich? The kid, it falls under the student loan, right? They have to take a finance student loan in order for them to continue their school and get their bachelor or master, whatever they go for, right? And 99%, and I know, and everybody that listens to this thing here understand this, okay? They came out, and remember I told you about two different people on this earth, okay? One born to be a leader, one born to have common sense. The people that want to be a leader and have a common sense, those are people when they graduate, they intend to grab a job right away, okay? Now, the 90% that are not, that I call book smart, that I call a common sense need to be taught. When they close the book, they don't know, okay? And those are people are vulnerable, are trapped and in a financial debt today. My internship is that I'm doing it to promote is that to change that, and not change that to pinpoint somebody's fault. I might say, well, we're all living together, and that every time you hear the politics talking about education, they want to fix it. They never fix it, they just talk. Okay? And then we heard that about our president wanted to do erase all the debt. You cannot do that. You know what I mean? With bankrupt America, and you, me, and the rest of America would pay more taxes to cover that. That's not the point. We cannot, then you're going to talk about leadership that we came into a demand. We cannot do that. We have to compromise. We have to find solutions. So the solution that I have, that I created an internship program, and I want to collaborate with everyone to hear me and come on board. I'm asking university, I'm asking hospital to collaborate. That's what collaboration is. It's the hospital. So meaning is that here this kid don't have a job and now still at mom and dad home or somewhere, don't matter, and it's chaos. So what I want to do is that by saying, okay, you passionate about buying it? I have a program buying it for you. So come on board. We're going to be 100% hands-on training you. And while you're in training, we'll pay you. What I mean, that's collaborating. Meaning I look at the hospital. By meaning hospital, I want the hospital to say, hey, before you hire somebody, let's collaborate with me. So I have a 2-year internship program. Come to my internship program and get the right people from me to go to work at your hospital. So I'm going to spend 2 years educate this person here. And now here's the thing, the unique and what I want to reveal is in that when you hire this person after 2 years, you know what? This person is now can become a financial independent because now this person make money. Now he or she can start paying off their student loan. This is the only way to pay itself off from having our kid in debt. And then now leadership try to carry and just erase everything. But you can't erase it because you can't erase today's problem, but you cannot erase the future problem. How are you going to do that if you're going to keep doing that? So this is what compromise is talking about. I'm asking hospital right now, if anyone hear me in this segment podcast here, partner with me. That's the thing that I'm talking about, collaboration. Let's work with me, send some people to my training center so we can begin to training them and then send them back. And that's all it is. We're looking for a place for these people here to work. When you can generate that kind of workforce like that, that will help them pay off their debt. And that's a factor. Brian, let me share you with another thing that I want to share. Right after pandemic, here in Bakersfield, there's a Harley Davidson, okay? I'm going to say it. I'm bold now. A Harley Davidson dealership here that I hang out on Saturday, okay? And the owner, Scott, know me very well. And I always go there and talk. So one day he came to me. He asked me a question, Gary, where do you find your people to work? And what program do you do to keep people working? After pandemic and during the pandemic, people don't want to work no more because our government give them free money. If we give free money, who's going to work, okay? I'm still working. I never stopped working. And so is him. So he said, I am losing my mechanic every day. I don't have a mechanic. So I'm worried about I'm going to close down my dealership. He said, here you go. All my money I invest is going to be gone. What did you do better, Gary, that you can recruit people during the pandemic and not after the pandemic? So I shared with him about internship program. I said, look, this internship program here, it don't have to be my career set in the Bible. You can start. So he taught me how to do it. So I told him, I said, look, Scott, look at how much you charge per hour when the customer bring in the Bible. They say, well, we charge fair, decent enough. I said, so there you go. And you have been paying your mechanic fair, decent enough, right? He said, yeah, it's the same thing. I said, how about you do this? You find a passionate people in Bakersfield that love Harley Davidson. You bring them in, you mentor them, put them on the internship program, and put your top mechanic to work with them. So start them from one simple thing and get them to be good at it. I told him, and I gave him instruction, and he's successful. Let me tell you the instruction I gave him. I said, look, start a new internship from one thing. Learn how to take the tie off and put the tie back on, okay? When he's good at it, now you trusted him to take to change oil. Okay, when he good at changing oil, now you teach him how to read computer, do ECU and all that stuff, read all that stuff, code. And after that, now he mastered it. Now it's time for you to teach him how to tear down the engine. Today's Brian, he's one successful, Harley Davidson in my dealership that never worry about someone leaving him and put him in a bind that his customer cannot get a motorcycle in and get a repair. He's done because he believed in me, and the way I'm telling about the internship program now, it's working. See, that's the thing, that community, it worked together and solve this problem. He's not even that, he'd be able to bring a young fresh college or a young people graduate from high school passionate about motorcycles. Now he put in there, mentor them, give them play, they learn, they're hands-on, and now they're successful in their life. And his business not shut down, right?
Oh, that's great.
Okay? Thrive. So this internship program that I create, it can work so many ways. But leadership cannot be a passive leadership. Leadership cannot be insecure. Okay, leadership not about caving, compromise. There is a lot of way on this planet Earth that we can take a resource and make it work. So that's something I want to share with you. And one of these days you will see me. I go to his dealership and do a video and interview him, and then I post on LinkedIn about him too. I will be.
Gary, one thing I could say about you, sir, you're very passionate, and that's a great attitude to have, because it's, you know how they say iron sharpens iron. You're passionate, man. You got me sitting over here motivated. I love the passion you have, and the knowledge and experience you're giving back to the industry is priceless, sir. But at the end of each podcast, I like to give my guests a second to speak to the listeners out there. But I'm going to give you two questions. The first question, I want you to speak to the young people that's new in the industry, or the young people that's in school. What type of advice can you give to them?
Okay, so here's my advice. Number one, you have to find a love, not about money. If money motivates you, it's wrong thing to do, because you will be blinded by money, and you would never gonna do a job in a good way at all. So that money lead you to that, then please get out of that field. Find something that you can make money fast. That's one. Number two, don't get motivated, okay? Because you say to yourself that I have no choice. I'm at the dead end. That you're not gonna do a good job either. So you need to be passionate. You know, I love this field here, and when I hire people, I ask for passion. If you have a passion and want to save lives that impact the society and the community you live in and work, then come and join me. And this field would be a phenomenon. You know, don't chase the money. I used to be young myself, came from Cambodia, from killing field, had no money. I was chasing money for a while until I realized and understand chasing money is just like a fool's gold, okay? It come and go. But if I chase recognition, if I chase it, integrity, okay, and believe in compassionate and help others, the money will come. So that is my message to all those young. It's that about stop and don't look at for money, looking for passion. Look at what you can do, because that will promote the money to you at the end of your career life. So that's the thing I want to share with the young guys.
Right.
Motivate whatever career you want to choose. Find something that you're passionate about.
Right. Now, I was going to ask you to share some knowledge for the leaders, but what could you say to about med technician who maybe have been in the industry for, I'll say, 10 years and feel like they're stuck in a bind? What advice can you give them to help them get out of that rut?
Okay, so that right there, I want to know from the personal perspective. Sometimes, you know, we've been doing it for too long, right? But we stuck in our head, okay? Thoughting that we know it all. You know what I mean? And reality, we not know it all. And then I had seen so many of them that I interview in my office when I had some people coming with experience. So I asked them questions, not offend anyone, but I just want to wake them up, you know, and so they can realize it. Okay, if you have 10-year experience, and let me ask you, how much have you accomplished, you know? And I know if you are looking for another job, that you're not happy with that job, that means you have not been accomplished what you do, okay? You either motivated by money, or you just say that I don't like the place, I'm going to continue walk and go. And that set the career in the wrong way. And that's, I see the people with 5-10 year experience. If you're good at what you're doing, 5-10 years, you should become somebody. You will be doing something better. If you stay in at one place, you will be phenomenal. Okay, but when you hop on from one to the next, that's not the way it should be. I would say no. Just stick to it and stay to it, and truly to yourself, and truly to your career that you chose to be. Not because you, like I just said, not that because I in need of the money at that time and I chose this career. Now I'm finding that it's made me good money and I'm going to stay with it, but I'm not going to do a good job on it. So do a good job. So I'm telling those guys that if you are 10-year experience, please go out there, motivate yourself, get up every day and do a good job. Do that meaning job that you sign up for. And that's all I can say. So don't get stuck in that.
Yeah. All right, sir. Thank you very much, Gary. I wish you the best. See you probably on the show circuit somewhere soon. And God bless you, sir.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing,
all right,
Brian.
go ahead.
I'm going to start my own podcast. So, audience, when I get it, I invite Brian to come on as a first guest. And please follow Brian, okay? Because we want to talk. Our podcast is all about technical. We want to get technical to help people that are stuck and cannot fix something. We're going to get the community together and help solving this problem. So my podcast is all 100% about hands-on, about technical. So I welcome everyone to come on when the podcast is started. So thank you.
Looking forward to that podcast, man. You have a name for it yet, or still?
Not yet. Audience can help me. So you, Frank. I mean, you're my elder. You've been doing this so long. So help me and give us a thought of that. You know what I mean? I'll
shoot some your way. All right. Well, thanks again, Gary.